Leeds United will go back to the top of the table if they win their next 2 games, but they've made hard work of their promotion push this season. A resounding win could help build confidence and momentum as the final run-in approaches, and Bolton Wanderers, who were beaten 4-0 by the Whites' promotion rivals Norwich City last week, should provide an opportunity for such a result. United's first 5 wins were by more than a 1-goal margin. Since then, we've only won 3 by more than a goal. Even then, the Whites failed to convert chances to make it 3-0 and were left sweating for the final 5 minutes after a tired challenge from Luke Ayling gave the visitors a chance of claiming a point. Marcelo Bielsa's men have rarely won by more than 1 clear goal. In fact, the 2-0 win over Derby County in mid-January was the only time Leeds have done so in their last 15 games. It's also 5 months, and 25 games, since Leeds won by more than 2 goals, a 3-0 win at home to Preston North End last September. As Leeds well know, Norwich are an excellent attacking side, but regardless, Bolton's defence looked shapeless and full of holes as they suffered a humbling defeat last weekend. You can't sell yourself against players of that quality. You can't switch off for a second and get done on a run because you will get punished. That is what happened against Norwich, said Phil Parkinson in his pre-match press conference. Daniel Farke's Canaries enjoyed almost 70% possession as they successfully created openings by moving the ball and pulling Bolton players out of position. Marcelo Bielsa's men will take a very similar approach. It's not just Norwich that have been able to score plenty against the Trotters, either. Last month Hull City beat them 6-0, while Nottingham Forest and Sheffield United have beaten them 3-0 this season. Parkinson is hoping that Mark Wilson be fit enough to return to Bolton's backline alongside Mark Beevers and David Wilson, with the experienced former Stoke defender badly missed in last weekend's humbling defeat. Patrick Bamford has scored 2 goals in 2 games against Bolton so far this season. He scored his first goal for Leeds in a 2-1 win in the first round of the Carabao Cup back in August, and came off the bench to score the decisive goal in Leeds' 1-0 win back in October. Bielsa has confirmed that the former Middlesbrough man will lead the line once again for Leeds on Saturday. Speaking ahead of Saturday's match, Parkinson also said he's got a dilemma over whether to go with a front 2 or a lone striker. He suggested he'll revert back to just 1 up front as fielding 2 forwards left them exposed against a heavy possession side last weekend. This was the case at the University of Bolton Stadium back in December, as Bolton went with Josh Magennis up front. However, the striker was left isolated and failed to register a single shot as Leeds enjoyed 70% possession. Still, at the other end, Bolton's flat back 4 frustrated Leeds, who struggled to create openings in spite of their dominance. It wasn't until Bamford was introduced at the hour mark that Leeds were able to open the scoring in the 1-0 win. As I've said on a number of occasions, we have tried to be positive with 2 at the top of the pitch, but against a possession-based team you can be played around, said Parkinson. That's what happened. Should Bolton go with an old-school strike partnership, Bielsa will likely respond by moving Calvin Phillips deeper into a back 3. He's done this to counter front 2s throughout the season, for example in the Whites' dominant 2-0 win over Ipswich back in October. On that occasion, Leeds had 65% possession and 18 shots to Ipswich's 3. They've scored just 21 goals from 33 games so far, while they've failed to get on the scoresheet in 5 of their last 9 championship outings. Josh Magennis is their top scorer with 4 goals, but all of those came in the first few weeks of the season. He's failed to score a league goal in his last 25 league appearances, but they lack other options after Christian Doidge went back to Forest Green in January after it emerged that Bolton hadn't been paying his wages. They will however be boosted by the return of Sammy Amiobi. The Newcastle Academy product has been one of Bolton's more dangerous players, having contributed 3 goals and 3 assists. That's more of a direct output than anyone else on the team. He's also versatile and he could be used to lead the line in the absence of a scoring centre-forward, but he's also been used on either flank and in a more central attacking midfield role.